Hey everybody, this is John for MTG Nexus, finishing up our last league for week number 2 with Mono Red, Chonky Red, however you want to call it. As a friendly reminder, if you like what you're seeing on the channel, please consider subscribing, give us a thumbs up, leave a constructive comment down below. And if you'd like to support the channel a little bit more, visit our Patreon page, which link is down below. So, Chonky Red, final league we're going to be doing with this particular week. We'll still revisit it on occasion, much like we did with Grixis Urza with the Urza Oko decks that are kind of defunct since the bannings, but obviously different variants are popping up. Final version for Mono Red will be basically Rekindling Phoenix or Torbaran. Card's a little bit more resilient to removal and such. Doesn't pile on damage quite the way Torbaran does. Turn it comes down with a board presence, but Rekindling Phoenix can be good in matchups like against blue-white control and such if it resolves. Also can be good against decks with a bunch of removal, forcing your opponent to expend 2 removal spells to get off the battlefield permanently, or have some type of exile effect like Lava Coil. Beyond that, this is the same list card for card. We played 73 of 75 cards, kind of already covered why we run specific cards, but suffice to say, I like to have a lot of flexible removal on the sideboard. We saw that come to play against our 2 matches against Boros Feather in the last league, and I like 4 copies of Glorybringer. Over decks, they're playing things like Ember Cleave, which is sometimes can get you there in other spots you otherwise couldn't do, but I think Glorybringer does a lot of the same things. Friendly reminder, we're going to be playing E-Tron, probably actually later this evening after I finish the league for this. And then we're going to be rolling on next week into another Pioneer deck of the week, as we're doing 50 decks in 50 weeks. 25 Modern, 25 Pioneer, alternating, usually taking decks toward the top of the meta or decks that are starting to emerge in the meta. The 2 decks under consideration right now, if you want to vote in the poll on the channel, is Blue-White Control and 5 Color Niv to Light. I'll be taking votes for those for another day or 2 before I kind of finally call it and decide which one we're going to be running. So, that's it. Let's hop into the league. We are here for match number 1. We'll be on the play. This hand is very much a Goblin's hand, for lack of a better term. Removal spell, and potentially removal spell. Rabble Master most likely, possibly Chain Whirler, depending on what our opponent's playing. Wild Slashes should be able to slow them down if they happen to be either a Mono Red deck or a Llanowar Elves base list. So they're a blue deck instead. Don't know if they happen to be blue-white or if they're just Mono Blue Devotion. Playing these out. So they just might be a control deck then. Still could be Deviation. Still think we jam Rabble Master next turn, don't we? I guess we could play Karizev, but we don't have exactly Censor here. Okay, they don't, so not 100% sure what our opponent's playing, but, you know, things and stuff. Alright, so it looks like they're just blue-white control. Once again, could still be some type of blue-based Devotion deck, but I think seeing multiple copies of Op seems more and more unlikely. Yep, they're blue-white control. Alright. Alright, not playing any spells into an Absorb. Our opponent decides to... Actually, do I even want to... Yeah, if I want to throw out Nazorius trying to put this on top of our deck, I think we're fine with that. This is a lot of damage. Yep, here comes the H-arm. Okay. Looks like our opponent is trying to set up a verdict. In response to the verdict, we can Bone Crusher them. Yep, it's like a verdict turn. Shoot a 10. Zev, and go. See what our opponent does here. Feels like a Teferi turn. Attack with Zev. Like, I guess I could jam Bone Crusher, but why? Feels like you would have been much better off scrying there. Sure. So, like, Absorb here is kind of obnoxious, but maybe we can bait it out with these Wild Slashes. Really? Sure. We will get lucky and... So maybe we'll get lucky and do the thing. Question is, which one do I actually want to play here? We're out of resources. Our opponent has 3 cards in hand. Feels like they've been waffling between playing 3 Fairy and holding up Absorb there. They get to take the best of whatever X cards. Yeah, sure. Okay. So Okay. Can't play it with Phoenix, which is mildly obnoxious. Alright, so tap this one. Activate that one. Threaten you with lethal. Alright. Sure. So you have to have exactly another Supreme Verdict? Which I suppose is definitely possible. Alright. So you're about to miss time your Supreme Verdict, aren't you? Sure. Okay. Fortunately, that means you are dead. Because you know about this Chain Whirler. Yep. Whoopsie. Good old-fashioned Mortal Kombat. Whoopsie. Yep. Alright, so you're saying we got some blue-white control. Those in here, get these in there, go down some strikes, maybe some slashes. Alright, so maybe the... Oh. No. Alright, so... Inverted mana cost. Let's see. Bone Crushers go down here. Want slashes or do we want strikes? Could just bring in a slash because it's a little bit more mana efficient. So bring in a slash. I think everything else is pretty reasonable other than our curve's looking mighty thick. Yeah, hand seems totally reasonable. So likely they're a little low on planes. Fortunately, our turn next turn probably just involves stomping the yard, yeah? Yeah, it definitely involves just stomping the yard, hang on for 2. And stomp. Down to 16. Scrab Clan Berserkers could deal them some. Oh dear. So. I think I'm just supposed to jam these. You have a sensor or something, I suppose I deserve it. Hey, charm strong. Yep. I don't know if that was the right one to A charm, but okay. Makes a moderate amount of sense, I guess. One has to start cycling here. Sheep, sure. Let's force our opponent to start chump block or start blocking here. Sheep. Okay. Nice absorb you got there. I am. Sure. Actually, I should have just committed Chain Welder to the board post combat. Okay, Field of Ruin, sure. Other Blessed Alliance? Early boy. Alright. Seems like a pretty reasonable one. Be annoying if they settle the wreckage us here. That's exactly what it looks like is happening. Alright. With 4 cards in hand. Cool. Seems like they weathered the early stumbles quite nicely. So what would... Lyra Dawnburner. Yeah, that's a thing. Don't know that we're beating that one. About a fry coming up shortly. Guess we put enough pressure down. They don't feel they can attack with Lyra. That seems dubious at best. Cast out. Taking out the Phoenix would be my guess. Yep. Alright, Mutavault. Gives me access to 9 mana. Unfortunately, that takes X amount to activate. At this point, we can't beat Sweeper plus Lyra, so no sense in even trying. Trigger, trigger. Dig through time, take 4. So is there any way I get through 4 damage? Okay, so they likely have Absorb here. Castle and Breath. Alright, do you have Absorb? So do I force through enough damage here to make it worth my while? Well, it goes to 12. Takes 8, 11. Is that exactly lethal? I think this is exactly lethal. 3, 7. No, they're going to 12, aren't they? Oh well. Just keep them from... putting them to 1. Alright, so... Alright, so attack with Lyra and Wrath. We have a Feudaloid Paladin. Okay, that's an interesting one. Guess this means Wrath. Attack with Lyra and Wrath. So we have a lot of draws in our deck that are just lethal. Alright, GG's. Alright, so and good game. Alright, so we got there against Blue-White Control. Kind of felt good. I think this matchup's extremely close. I think we've played it like 3 or 4 times between the different red variants. So, matchup's a lot of fun, a lot of back and forth in these matchups. Our opponent did kind of throw away game number 1. But I think you really kind of see that the deck that is the de facto best deck, or one of the 2 best decks along the mono black aggro, even against Blue-White Control, another tier 1, 1.5 deck. A lot of close back and forths here. So, anyways, on to the next match. Yeah, we're back for match number 2 on the play again, which is always nice to see. And is a little bit 3-drop heavy, to say the least, but I still think it's good enough in a lot of situations, especially if we draw a 3rd land. Okay, so apparently Blue-White Control again. I guess I could conceivably be Spirits or something. Alright. So without something like Path in the format, this does make it a good bit more difficult for them to interact with this card. Oh, okay. Interesting. So Blue-White Heroic. Sure. Hmm. Okay. Sure. So just kill whatever they block. Sure. Yeah. Got there in game number 1 against Blue White Heroic. So favored Hoplite. Which one are they? Battle-wise Hoplite. Definitely have some different cards than they previously did, but I think the concept is still the same. Kill them all. Rebel Master is great, more on the play. And Bone Crusher Giant is okay, but a little mana inefficient. Chain Whirler, kind of the same thing. So maybe cut another Whirly Boy. Yep, a bunch of removal spells and a partridge and a pear tree. Alright, Stump's pretty nice. Lets us get on the board. Did a nice job of disguising the fact they were heroic until. Sure. Alright. Oh, multiples. Yeah, they just bounce off each other. Cool. Kind of feels like a... Alright. And got there in a matchup that's probably a little bit easier than Boros Feather, but still interesting, challenging matchup. So good job for MTG Nexus. Yeah, we're back for match number 3. We're on the draw. It looks pretty decent. A little bit on the Soulscar Mage side, but still feels reasonable. Read. So could be Dimir midrange control. Grixis. Aye. Sure. Okay, so Niv. Oh my. Sure. Okay. Do you name Chandra? Of course you do. And decking. That card seems dubious. Okay, have some type of sweeper this turn. Oh my. All right. So, Siege Rhino slash Big Dumb Idiots deck. Alright, we are up against Shesterman. Yeah. So most of their creatures have a green base to them. Which does make me potentially want Fry. Chandra is pretty reasonable. They have a decent amount of creatures, but they also have a decent amount of other stuff. Nothing of ours answers their stuff 1-for-1 per se. Potentially want those out. You see Giant can go down here. Maybe a random strike to finish off Planeswalkers. Beyond that, does any of this make sense? Slash Coil. Coil doesn't really kill any other dudes. Strike. Chandra, Glory Banger. Alright. Do I pass up this hand? No early pressure. Gets picked apart by Thought Erasure and such. We can do better on 6. JK. About the same. Other than Karizev come down. Comes down a turn earlier. You know what I think this hand needed? Another land. Alright, Whirly Boy allows us to curve 2, 3, 4. Could have a push here, I guess. Nope, our deck doesn't really run push, so. Alright, so Oath of Kaya. Teferi. Alright, Rio, yeah. Question is, which one of these 3 drops do I play? Swirly Boy has a better chance of attacking through whatchamacallit, and if they happen to have a sweeper, at least we're only getting 1.5 for 1-ish. Don't think playing a longer game particularly favors us, so... Take some of the pressure off the table. If they don't want to use our renewal spell, that's fine. Why wouldn't you just hostage taker my Phoenix? Alright. He's random? Yep. Hopefully, last card isn't a huge follow-up. Kind of walking that tightrope, like, am I supposed to attack? Am I supposed to block? They just have too many big hitters that allow them to end games too quickly. Busting Beast? Yep, that's a thing. Seems like a very curious attack. Sure. Please, for the love of bricking, just brick once. Doesn't look like you bricked. And back Uro. Sure. Alright, so it's a semi-interesting one, I guess. Again, as I said, these kind of longer games don't favor us against their deck. These are definitely monkey see, monkey do. Hmm. Alright, trading off boards, not great for us. And then draw follow-up. Bounce the token. Yeah, that seems like the point of no return there. So they left in Utter End, which is interesting. There. Seen enough. I think the coils come in. Name Strike can go out. Like that. Uro obviously is an issue, but not exactly built to handle 6/6s. Yeah, I still think it's a hand we keep. Alright. Hand is very similar to the one we just had on the draw. Let's see if it's good enough on the play. Carotid, yep. It'd be awesome if we actually had Chain Whirler here. Gotta play this guy out. Can't use him for his ability right now. Sidrina. Questing Beast. That kind of sucks. Alright, what you got? Smells like a nib. Smells like a nib. It is a nib. So 3, 4. So no matter what, they're probably playing. Well, they couldn't take Siege Rhino. So they have Teferi and Bring to Light, which is interesting. So how do I maximize the damage that I can do here? Just attack, get in for 3 here. Kill your Niv Mizzet. So you'll Bring to Light and a Teferi, and who knows what else in your hand. Do we even push 4 here? So 5 mana. Bring the light. Okay. Tulsimere. Mountain. To a 4, unfortunately. And so many cards here. It would be royal problems. Okay. So they're going to 7 here. There's Teferi. Yep, feels like Teferi. Question is, what are you bouncing? Okay. Cast anything with it, which is annoying. Feels like we might fall just short here. They could bring back Uro, I think. Doesn't look like they're bringing back Uro. Hostage taker, take Karizov? Fortunately, they're going to get to bring back Uro, go to 5, and then there's no singular draw on our deck that wins the turn there. Alright, close spot match, but one draw step to do it, and it was going to have to be like a miracle there. Anyways, on to the next match. Yeah, we're back for the 4th match here on the play. Answer is fine. The 1-drops, but once again, our deck doesn't exactly have a lot of 1-drops, so what you got there, friend? Say hello to my little friend. This might be that blue-red or blue Prowess deck. Rekindling Phoenix variant. Delightful. Don't know how we're being two Arclight Phoenixes, but, you know, can try. Alright. Sure. Being double Arclight Phoenix is going to be a little rough. Sure. Treasure Cruise? Okay. Screwed up. Should have played Chandra there. What a weird eclectic mix of cards. So it looks like blue-red Prowess with stuff. Okay. So it's pretty clear you don't have a removal spell, so we'll do that. Going to stop that. So you don't get a 0-1, yeah? What on earth is your hand? A treasure cruise. Yep. Really? Interesting. Wow, we actually got there in a game. We saw 1 billion cards. Huh. Alright, so we definitely want the Magma Sprays. Definitely want the Chandra's Defeats. Probably going ahead and want these Tormod's Crypts. Lava Coils seem interesting. Cards don't seem interesting. Rabble doesn't seem great on the draw. And 2, 4, 8, 10. Should do a couple lightning strikes, maybe. Chain Whirlers aren't great in these style of matchups. It's a hand I can keep. Don't think so. And a little bit better. What do I put back? Land for now. No reason to run out Soul Scarmage here. I have an op or something, which is fine. Sure. Going strategically planning. Hopefully we draw like a Tormod's Crypt. Alright, so glad we put back the land. Sure. So we're going to be really glad we put back a land. Might have been a mistake to waste those. Feels like Lightning Axe. Yep. Further Cruise. This is not running that out. Makes their sequencing much more awkward. Okay. Sure. No treasure cruising for you. I presume you have an answer for this token? Wild Slash. Aimed at the face. Okay. Right, next, discard a bird. Great. Yep. And if they have Wild Slash here, we're just dead, so. Yeah, Wild Slash. Okay. Hmm. Try like this. The Scab Clan Berserkers could be good in certain circumstances. Alright, this hand's pretty decent. A little bit heavy on the lands, but decent. Alright. Sure. Would have loved to connected with a whatchamacallit that turn. Alright. Rekindling Phoenix, huh? Two little spells for that Poppy. Got nothing. On bottom. Okay. Two Phoenixes. Hmm. What you got, friend? Okay. Sure. And we got there. Cool. Alright, back for match number 5. We are on the play again, which has been very fortunate for us this particular league. Fortunately, that hand's a mulligan. This hand is likewise a mulligan. Keep, put back Glorybringer, Raven Up Runes. Guess if there's a 5-card hand that could win, this is certainly one of them. Temple. Not sure what Temple's supposed to tell me here. Three-drop into land would be nice, I guess. Okay. So field, maybe? Yep, Lotus field. Alright. Chronic Flooding, so they're the Breach combo version. Alright. The only thing we can truly do is try to kill them quickly. Chronic Flooding, sure. Not quite sure what the kill is. I guess we'll find out. Sure. Okay. Not dead yet, Jim. Hmm. Guess their win condition is Thassa's Oracle. Cool. So, Tormod's Crypts. Where's my Blood Moons when I need them? Scab Cram Berserkers seem pretty good here. Linear preliminary, I believe it was that one that they should have been. Yeah, I got brand some things in the ice, maybe some Anger of the Gods. So definitely want my copies of Fry. Slashes and strikes aren't great. Chandra could be alright, but a little bit slow. I think the name of the game is speed. So maybe it's supposed to be Chain Whirler over burn spells. Not really sure on that one. So one thing this archetype can struggle with is not the fastest at killing. Like Rabble Master is pretty good. His hand seems reasonable. Obviously need to draw lands. Don't need to expose them to Tormod's Crypt yet, I don't think. Alright. Cheney Boy is not bad. Does at least increase our clock. So that. What is the fastest we can kill them? So are we threatening lethal next turn? It looks like Oracle's their main win con. To some reason, bring in Mystical Disputes. Alright. Guess they could have Blink of an Eye. Sure. Interesting. Why would they need a red source? Exactly lethal if you don't have an interaction spell. Ah. Old-fashioned frickin' fog. So guess what will be coming back in next game? Wild Slashes. I suppose if there is next game, that is. Alright. So they didn't get to see our fun tech, but we did get to see their fun tech. So damage can't be prevented this turn. How relevant is that, though? Guess over Whirly Boy on the draw. Okay, what does this hand do? So that has a turn 1, Soul Scar, and a Wild Slash. I guess we keep it, and then we have 2 4-drops that might be basically a mulligan. Last turn. Someone's crying for a Lotus Field. I don't think our clock's going to quite here. Not exactly a lot of pressure. Those tosses were recorded. Don't really think Tormod's Crypt stops that particular plan. Okay, sure. So you have all the mana you could possibly need. You can swing for what? 6, 8 next turn. Sure. Rational Bombs, interesting. They concede the game. Okay. I am curious as to why they did what they did, but at the same time, I am not going to pass up a 4-1. So, thought process on the league. I think I liked the Rekindling Phoenixes. There was a lot of matchups where the 2-for-1 was difficult for opponents to deal with. Not sure. That's one thing if you want to continue to play Chonky Red or Red Midrange, is like testing slots like Rekindling Phoenix over Torbrand, or if you want something more aggressive against blue-white control, maybe something like Earthshaker Kenra over Kari Zev. There's a lot of little things that can kind of get cycled. The 4 Mutavault build versus the 2 Mutavault build. Rabble Mass or Chain Whirlers if they're necessary, allowing you to go back up to 4 Mutavaults. There's a lot of different things going on with these lists that I think are quite interesting and nice. One card that could potentially be interesting, something like Boros Reckoner is another card that potentially see play in this archetype. There's a lot of interesting like little pieces, little cards. Another thing is you could almost turn this into a Red Devotion deck, play something like Fanatic of Mogus. Not saying that version would be particularly better, I'm just simply saying that there are a lot of options among a singular colored deck. So, really like this build. I think it's a good jumping off point if you want to look at the archetype as a whole. I'll kind of have a rundown on the archetype as a whole in a kind of a short follow-up, but longer form follow-up video like I've been doing, like the various different archetypes. So, anyways, this has been John for MTG Nexus. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe to the channel, and check out our Twitter page where the link is down below.